and being at home has helped. Obviously, this week, it's 2 one-possession games, and when you're at home, it's worth more than one possession. But with that being said, our guys are starting to get identity. I know they're tremendously frustrated, but so was Colorado State. It was a defensive game, and at one point our guys had 14 straight stops. I can't remember the last time I've had a team, accomplish that. And so they didn't feel sorry for themselves because it was the second game in a row where we kind of struggled making open shots, and yet we didn't let that define us. We got back and made it hard for them. So I think Christmas break is a great time to get your offense, to work on it. You spend so much of the preseason getting your defense going and that kind of thing that, I have a lot of confidence in these guys offensively. I think that's the easy part for them. But the hard part, I think they're starting to buy into the defensive end. And, I thought these 2 games were probably our best 2 defensive. We didn't rebound as well, but, when you miss that many shots and you have such a high-end rebounder like Carvaccio, I hope I say that right, but Carvaccio, he's just an elite rebounder, and that put a lot of pressure on us. And yet our guys just kept fighting, and there's almost even more in telling of our character because we got like a 9 or 11-point lead, and all of a sudden we make some mistakes and give them a 5-point play. And go behind, and yet to gather themselves and to end up winning, is great for their confidence. Are we good enough to going into the league, to win the league? No, we've got work to do, but we're heading in the right direction, and that's all we can do. We've still got couple weeks to go before we get there, and hopefully this preseason we'll continue to build.
Coach, what difference did you see in the first half and the second half?
I didn't see much difference. I thought we struggled offensively and played pretty good defense for 40 minutes. I don't think we ever really got. They did a good job. Part of it is them. They played well defensively, and I don't think we ever really got into a rhythm. We had that one spurt where we got up 9 or 11 where we had a couple buckets in a row, but they made us earn our points, and we made them earn their points, and. It was never really a game where I felt like, okay, we're getting a flow going. We're in a good rhythm offensively, and we just had to keep battling. When you get frustrated, you start missing free throws. You start trying to make too hard of plays. We turned it over a couple times, that were unforced. And but at the end of the day, our guys stayed together and kept battling, and that's all you're going to ask of them.
I kind of saw like the first half as like Tammy and Mason taking control, and the second half as more of like the guards. Did you see any of that?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, they made it difficult. There's no secret that Timmy's a load down there. He was for him last year. It's a new coaching staff, but I'm sure they watched that game, and they made it difficult for him. I mean, he's 6 for 13, which is not great for a guy that's shooting everything around the basket. But like I said, I thought they really did a good job of making him earn his points, and they doubled him and forced him into some turnovers. But yeah, you're right. I think as we got stops, we got in transition a little bit more in the second half. Maybe is what you're saying. And in transition, it turns into more of a guard play. But again, I thought we were trying to go inside out the whole game. And second half, we got a few jumpers, and but they were good looks. As long as it's Edon and Brian Alberts and Griff. I mean, those guys are in there to stretch the defense and get us some jumpers.
Now got KJ Byers and Deshaun Booker joining us.
You mentioned this is 2 close wins in a row for your team. What does that kind of, tight-knit competition down the end of the second half do for a team as it's heading towards conference play?
Well, so much of it is confidence, and that what gives you confidence. Like Thursday gave us confidence in this situation that we're okay. When we fell behind with like 4 minutes to go and kind of, made some mistakes to let them back in the game, I don't think our team was confident enough a month ago to pull that off. We're kind of in that same boat against Oregon State. I don't know how many days ago that was, and weren't able to regroup and get ourselves back. And basketball is a game of runs, and you have to put it behind you and go on to the next play, go on to the next series of plays. And I really think we grew in that way, and we were kind of, they had us rattled, but we took a timeout. We got ourselves together, and I think we got eat onto the foul line to get, to see the ball go through again, and then, but we won it with our defense. KJ made a great play with 20 seconds to go, to just, keep the guard in front of him and turn him over, and then Book finished it off with free throws, and that's what winning teams do, and it gives you confidence that we've been here before, like we were Thursday, and we know what to do here.
KJ, you made a couple big plays there at the end. What's going through your mind on those last couple possessions on defense?
Defensively, just locking in. Offensively, I was struggling, with turnovers and not hitting shots, so I wouldn't let it affect my defensive end, so I just locked in on defense.
Coach, looking ahead at your next matchup against Stanford Saturday, what's it going to take to go down there on the road and remain competitive or get a win?
Well, you got to take it on the road, but I told them after, defense travels. I mean, if you're a good defensive team, you don't, offense we're going to have stretches like we had today. Every team does, where balls aren't going in and everything. But if you're a good defensive team Monday at practice, you're going to be a good defensive team Thursday on the road. I mean, it's a consistent that that's why coaches harp on it so much, because, if you can control that end of the ball, you're always going to have a chance on the road. And we just got to continue to get better. It'll be our 5th Pac-12 team, and we've been, we were in the UCLA game in the last minute. We're in the USC game in the last minute. What was I know Arizona State we were not. What was our? And Oregon State, we had 2 shots to put it to overtime. So we've knocked on the door 3 times, and I said we've improved in the last month. We've got more confidence. This is what's great about our schedule. It's great about what we're doing. Let's go see if we are, But I think, I think our roles are more established now. I think guys are buying into what we're trying to do, and I think they deserve a chance to go see what they can do with Stanford, and if not, we come back and we have another 10 days to work on ourselves before league starts.
Deshaun, the offense kind of stalled in the second half. Not a lot was going in, and then able to put it together in those final minutes to pull out the win. What happened that kind of got things off track, and then how did it get back to where it was?
I think we were just missing shots a little bit. We like you said, we were trying to get it inside, and they did a good job making an adjustment and trying to take that away. And it took us a little while to try to counterattack that. So I think that's what kind of happened.
I'd be remiss to say that 3 he hit was a big shot in that game. Put us from up 1 to up 4. And again, at the end of the day, seniors got it, we were trying to run stuff and it wasn't working, and eventually players make plays, and he, he did a good job tonight of making that play.
Coach, second straight game, no sign of Ron Freeman. Will he be back for next Saturday, or is there an update on his status?
I doubt he'll be back Saturday. I mean, he's just trying to get some priorities straight in his world, and this week I just felt like he needed to just worry about getting his academics done during finals, and so I'll meet with him when we get back and when we see his grades and that kind of thing. But I don't know if he's suspended. I don't know if he's on sabbatical. I don't know what to call it. He's just we're just making sure that we worry about Ron as a person more than a basketball player, and trying to help him get his life prioritized. Thanks.